now that we're working from home for a year, and let's pick the word perimeterless, right? The perimeter, we've been talking about the perimeter disappearing for the past 5-7 years. Well, here we are. Now it's like been smashed. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone, right? The perimeter, as we have known it for probably much of our career, and many of the people that are, probably watching us right now, it's gone. We don't have employees in the brick and mortar. We don't have employees sitting behind that firewall that's in the rack with the switching and all the cabling that you can control. It's all gone. Needless to say, as well, now you're missing all that security scanning that you would normally get off of an enterprise grade firewall. Or if you had your own IDS system that's in place, like that all disappears once everybody grabs their laptops or even uses home PCs now to then use a VPN to get back into the office. So what was once maybe a 1-2 office perimeter that you could, pretty feasibly get your arms around. Well, we essentially have gone to maybe 200 plus offices with everybody being at home that now you have to protect. And you can't just go slam a hardware firewall in everybody's house really quickly, even if you wanted to. I mean, it might not even be financially possible to do that. But now it means what we did early on, and you and I have discussed about this over the months, when we ran at COVID and everybody had to do a light switch and we had to run home really quickly and get all the employees, if that was a new motion for you, and it was a new motion for most people because pre-COVID, less than 7% of businesses had remote employees. You read all the articles about let people work flex time and work wherever they want, and people are doing whatever. It was less than 10% of businesses in the United States had even one single work from home employee. March comes of 2020, we flip a light switch, everybody has to go home. So we did what we had to do as practitioners to get people online and working. But that's not sustainable now, I don't believe. And again, I think we're jumping ahead a little bit here, but I don't feel like that's sustainable from a security strategy because employees are not coming back to the office full time. It's not going to happen. Work from home is here to stay, whether it's full time, hybrid. So now we have to look at what our security strategy is and revamp it for what is a new world for all of us from a security perspective.
I actually kind of like it. I know it must have been painful for people, but at the same time, I think this yanked everybody into the future in a way. There's I wish I'd thought of this before and included this comic. There was a funny kind of comic, which also reflects the reality that was like CIO survey of what drove your digital transformation is like board pressure, like 10%, or business needs, 5%, COVID-19, 90%, and in reality, I'm now starting to talk to agencies and analysts about the questions are coming up of what happens when we come back to normal. Vaccination rates are increasing in the U.S. The rest of the world will catch up sooner or later. We will be able to come back to normal. But now, what the security industry is asking, kind of grappling with, is okay. So what is that going to look like? And in a way, I think this has been a good experiment because now, whether people come back, some people will stay remote. Some people will come back into the office, but overall, organizations have been yanked into the future in their security posture and in their awareness. Whether it's the now the endpoint is much stronger, or the cloud security is much stronger. Multi-factor authentication is understood. Remote access is much better understood. Which some of these components are also excellent stepping stones towards a zero trust type deployment. Which is I want to be clear: zero trust is not a product; it's a process. or it's a mental framework, right? But it's now some of these stepping stones are in place that would have been otherwise painful or long to implement.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap on this slide, I mean, really that it forced everybody to rip the Band-Aid, right? And a lot of time you have to think about this in technology and security. We typically don't promote rip the Band-Aid, right? Because it's too painful from a security and technology perspective. It's more planned out, it's more process driven, and this really forced us to rip the Band-Aid and move forward, and probably move forward by 5 or 10 years really in the industry.